Good evening. I am Dr. V. Vignesh, Associate Professor from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, going to discuss about design thinking for social innovation. The design thinking, which has been formulated based on how might we, with the help of this question, which is used to identify a challenge, and it don't assume the answer in the question that what is the challenge behind this. So it will be open enough for discovery, be specific enough for the direction. Where this particular design thinking concept belongs to how we want to formulate the problem, how we want to formulate the solution for the given problem. So first is a perspective concept. It will be focused with a focus on people, how the design thinking works. So the design thinking focus on three innovations based on the emotional innovation, progress innovation, and functional innovation. It describes into three different categories based on people, business, and technology. These innovations have been created. So one is that all these three combined together form a experience innovation. So the emotional innovation talks about branding, relationship, and marketing strategies. Whereas the progress innovation talks about the intercomponents of business and technology level. Whereas the functional innovation focus on the people, that is a disability among the people and feasibility among the technology which have been focused under the design thinking process. So design as a holistic approach where it focuses on five different areas: business, digital, brand, service, and product. So we can create options with the help of various in the design thinking approach. So there will be two different angle. So in general, in business practice, we'll be focused on various choices, and we can have various choices, and we can convert to only one particular choice. We can select the best choice. But in a design thinking approach, we have been diverging with the number of choices. We are creating an options to get a particular solution. So we are identifying a particular problem and we are creating multiple solutions. Among the multiple solutions, we have been selecting the best solution that we call the converging. So do, think, and think, do. So this is the concept behind this design thinking process. Either act and think the particular process, or think the particular concept and act accordingly. So these have been performed based on three different angles. One is the refinement, feedback, and prototype. So this particular system has a four-step design thinking approach. One is a thing called inspiration, insight, ideation, and implementation. So the inspiration is nothing but taking the real problem. So all taking the real problem, and we are going to learn about what is the problem behind this, what is the statement behind this particular problem. So this from the problem definition, we want to take an abstract that we call an insight. So from the abstract, we want to we will create a number of ideas, and we have been selecting the best idea for implementation. So real problem, learn the particular problem statement, create an abstract statement, and do and our do that means create an our prototype. From the prototype, implement the particular process that we call as implementation. Inspiration, insight, ideation, and implementation is a 4I process of design thinking approach. So from the particular problem step, from the particular approaches that in the from the earlier figure, we can come to know about the research. So from the research, the basic idea that we have been formulating, we are identifying the particular problem that we call as research. So from the research that we have been having inspiration. From the inspiration, we are observing what is going on, what we want to do. That from that we call as an insight. We are generating the problem statement. So after generating the problem statement, we are taking an abstract. What are the things are required? How we can able to solve the problem? Then those what is an existing problem? What we want to propose to do? So this we call an abstract. That we are getting an insight into the particular problem statement that we call an understand. We are clearly understanding the problem statement. We are getting an insight. From the understanding phases, we are converting the understanding phases to design phase that we call an ideation. Thus, so the understanding and design phases we call as a synthesis approach. Whereas the basic thing called the observance and technology test and implementation we call as a realistic approach. So after converting the understanding abstract to design concept, that from the ideation we have been implementing the process, that we are creating it, we are testing the particular product and we have been implementing them. So we are getting a final solution that we call research to solutions. So it's been based on the real problem. We have been identifying the problem and we are learning what we want to do. That we call inspiration. So here, the better we can emphasize with people, the easier we can create value for them and success for organization. This is the concept behind the inspiration. The better we can emphasize with people, the easier we can create value for them and success for the organization. So the observe and the listening process in the context, that what the particular problem says, that we want to observe them. So look towards the extreme. We want to go up to the extreme level in the form of micro analysis, not in the form of mini analysis. We want to go for a micro analysis to know about the problem statement clearly. So explore an analogous experiences. We want to explore the what experience that we have been we are get into the particular identifying the problem statement. So we want to immerse ourselves for the particular to knowing about the problem statement. So let's make a research plan. So the research plan in the consists of recognizing existing knowledge. We want to identify the people to speak with. We want to select the best research method to narrow down the particular problem, either in the form of observation or analog inspiration or individual interview or in-context emotion or self-documentation or expert interviews. Without the interview help for today, we introduce yourself and our project. Don't ask some leading questions. Ask to show, not to tell. Now we want to ask them to present the project, not to tell the concepts. Why? When we want to raise a question, why? What is the problem? Why we have been step into the particular why we select this particular problem, what is the cause behind this particular problem. Like that we want to raise certain questions. Instead of going for a telling process, we want to ask them to showcase the experimental approach. The next phase we call the synthesis phase. Here we are stepping into the learning about the particular problem statement and we are creating an abstract of the particular problem statement that we call it as an insight of the problem statement. So synthesis is the art of meaning or making, pattern finding and direction setting, that we call synthesis. Synthesis is the art of meaning to making, of that we call a pattern finding, and we want to set the direction, that we call direction setting. So observation and findings step into the synthesis part. We are getting an insight and opportunities as an outcome. How we do it? That's the first basic questions in the particular process. How these particular problems